Yes, this is Neeraj Kumar once again, and in today's video vlog, we are going to talk about how to add a custom domain name to Azure AD. Uh, when you create any Azure AD, you have a Azure AD tenant name, and that tenant name would be something in form of your name that you have chosen, and then you will have on Microsoft.com appended to it. So it's basically three level domain name. So the first part is the name that you assign and you control that. But however, the name after the your custom name that or the name that you have chosen is is determined by Microsoft, and in your case it will be like your directory name dot on Microsoft.com. This is also called initial domain name. It is mainly for bootstrapping purpose, which means that before you assign any custom domain name, which we'll talk more in details. But custom domain name is what gives the branding to your corporate Azure AD, because you don't want to use on Microsoft.com. So essentially, you will assign a custom domain name, such like, in my case, it's cloudeasy.com. And then you will essentially make use of that custom domain. When a user logs in, they will use their user name and at the rate cloudeasy.com, or, the custom domain name that you have. It's of your choice. Now, in order to make use of this or for custom domain, the benefit is that when you host your website, you can use this domain, and essentially you can also your users can use your custom domain name user login ID to log into your website, so which gives a very good corporate branding. Also, this Azure AD, where you host your users, or like all your users from on-prem, you can basically configure the login credential, and the login can take the form of your custom domain name. uh, you also in order to make use of a custom domain name, first thing first, you will need a custom domain name registered from any domain registrar. So probably you will already have it. In my case, I bought a domain name, which I'm gonna make use today in today's demo. And how do we associate that with that? So once you need the DNS name of the custom domain name, then you will also have to add it to your directory, Azure AD directory. And once it is added, then you'll have to verify. You have to go into the DNS registrar and create some record, which we'll see today, and that will complete the verification process. And then Microsoft Azure AD can really know that you are the owner of that domain name, and that's how you will associate the custom domain name with Azure AD. We will see that demo in a minute. So I'm back to the Azure portal, and what I'm gonna do is I'll click on Azure AD, which is on the left side, which you see over here. And then you will come down and it'll say there is something called domain name over here. Uh, so what once I click on here, you can see that I have option to add a domain name. Essentially, this is where you will add the custom domain name. Now, what you will see this is I already have an initial domain name here, which is in form of on Microsoft.com and plus the name that I have chosen. So in my case, I have chosen earlier when you have created this Azure AD directory, I've chosen cloud z dot on Microsoft.com. So this on dot Microsoft.com is what you get, and as a part of initial domain. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add the new domain that I bought from my domain registrar, so which is cloudeasy.com. And once I add that, I click on add domain. Once it is added, what it's going to do is basically it will ask me to create the txt record in the following in this format onto the DNS registrar. So in that case, I'll have to go and log on to my DNS registrar, or in my case, it's godaddy.com, from where I have got this name registered. But it depends on if your provider doesn't support txt record, you can also create mx record. So depending on what is supported, but most of the DNS registrar are they support the txt record. So you will select the txt record, and Microsoft is going to give you the format that you have to go and create the record in that format. So I already have this. I know that GoDaddy.com support TXT. So what I'm gonna do is I'll make use of this information and I'll create the record on GoDaddy.com. So you can see that I'm logged into GoDaddy.com console, and then I'm going to go ahead and manage my DNS. Once I click on DNS, it will take me to the DNS console where I'll have to add the TXT record of information that Microsoft has provided. So I will click on add, and this will let me, so I can select the TXT record that we want to create. And here what you will provide is the host information, the TXT value that Microsoft has given. And Microsoft asks you to create with 3600 seconds. So I just say custom for TTL, time to live factor, and you will specify how many seconds it's going to make use of it. So I will pause the video and populate this information, and after that I'll come back. So you can see that I have populated the record. Now what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and save it. Once it is saved, once this TXT record is created, I will have to come back and on my Azure portal and complete the verification process. So I'll go ahead and say save. Now this has created my TXT record. If you look at here, I can see my TXT record is created. So now I will have to go back onto the Azure portal and complete the verification process. So let's switch back to the Azure portal. Sometime it takes time because when you create the record on the DNS registrar, it takes time to propagate. But hopefully this got propagated, and you have waited enough time. Maybe you just take 10 minutes, and then once that wait time is over, you can click on verify. What essentially it's gonna do is it will go ahead and verify the domain name, and you can see that my domain name got verified, and Cloud EZ EZY.com has been verified to use with my Active Directory Azure AD. So if I come over here and if I look at now at the assigned domain name, you will see that now I have this cloudeasy.com associated with my Azure AD. So in nutshell, this is how you register your custom domain name of Azure AD and how you verify it. So I hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching this. I will be publishing more videos on other Azure tasks. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.